Sometimes all it takes to fall in love with your home again is a little rearranging. Today I'm going to show you how I redecorate my dining room to make it feel fresh and new without buying a single thing. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. Well, hello friends. I hope you're having a great day. I am so excited to welcome you into our home as I restyle our dining room and entryway. Before each season, I like to reevaluate my furniture placement in our home, and since fall is right around the corner, I decided to focus in on my dining room. I recently switched out the entryway table that was previously in my entryway and moved it behind my sectional in the living room. I had the itch to switch and just started playing around with decor, and I got so inspired. So that's kind of what inspired today's video. Today I am rearranging the furniture to fill something in my entryway, and then I also wanted to center our table in our dining room and add a few more chairs to our table. So let's clean the space first. I've debated on what to put in our entryway for some time now, but I didn't really want to spend any money since fall is right around the corner and I would rather have my decor budget go to fall decor. So I decided to play around with some of the furniture pieces that I already have. I purchased this Hutch last fall. It was a Facebook Marketplace find, and I brought it home. I stripped the entire piece and got it to a raw wood finish, which is what I was going for, and I genuinely love this piece. It's been so fun to source more raw wood cottage inspired pieces for our home over the last year. Some items that I've also collected over time are these pottery pieces. I started a few years back collecting these, and I feel like they are just timeless and give that really pretty cottagecore look. So I'm going to keep those. I'm going to clean everything off, and now is a good time to go through my drawers and the cabinets of the Hutch. Now this little Hutch is small, but it holds a lot, and you will see that in just a bit. I keep all of my tablecloths, runners, and cloth napkins in here, as well as napkin rings and a few other odds and ends. Since our dining room is an open concept right into our entryway, I decided to move the Hutch over by the door, which is right next to our dining room. It's very close, so I thought I would see if the Hutch looks right over in that space, and we'll see. We're just playing around with things. You never know how things will look until you start moving them around. But you guys, look how many tablecloths and runners this cabinet holds. It really is quite crazy. But I'm going to move these all to another home. This piece was very heavy with all of the linens inside, and I have a space in my pantry that will hold all of these items. So I'm moving the cabinet over. It is much lighter now without all of the linens inside, and I just added the top back on and the drawer, and I actually think it looks really pretty here. We'll style this together in just a bit, but now I wanted to take a second to thank today's video sponsor, QVC. I am so thankful to be partnering with QVC in today's video to share with you all some of the beautiful Mackenzie Child pieces that I recently added to our kitchen. I'm just starting out collecting Mackenzie Child's pieces, and I feel like they are just beautiful heirloom pieces that I will be able to pass down. I was drawn to the mocha check pattern. I feel like it's beautiful for year-round decor, and it fits with my design in my kitchen very well. So I'm so excited to style this. I'm starting out with the large enamel canister. There are so many different ways you could style this. Today I'm going to have it on a riser next to my stove, and I'm going to store all of my kitchen spoons and spatulas and just have a place to gather all of these pieces. That's both beautiful and functional. The next piece is the 2-quart whistling tea kettle. I thought this would be so fun during the cooler months, and I also just love how it looks displayed on my stove. And last but not least is the large colander. I love the antique brass details details on this piece. I feel like it is absolutely beautiful and will serve as functional decor in my kitchen. So I will have all of these items linked down below if you would like to check them out on QVC. After I gave everything a good, fresh clean, I just moved my pottery pieces back over to my hutch. I love styling these, like I said before, because they are just timeless pieces that give so much character to a space. Like I said in the beginning of today's video, I'm not going out and buying anything new when I'm styling in today's video. However, I am shopping my home for decor that I can pull from other rooms. This is one of my favorite ways to redo a space without having to spend any money. So I'm sharing some of the items that I'm using for my decor today, and maybe it will inspire you to move some items around in your home as well to make a space feel completely different. One thing I love to move around are books. So I grabbed a few of my favorite cookbooks that I wasn't currently using as decor in my kitchen. So I've got those layered and I love the dimension that it gives. I also love decorating with baskets and greenery or florals that fit the different seasons. So I've got all of those items layered in. For this type of shelf styling, I like it to feel a little more full, so I layer in my decor pieces and make it pretty tight feeling. This is very different than how I style my big open shelves in my living room. So stay tuned. In the next few videos, I'll be sharing how I style those for fall as well as this hutch. But for now, I'm just using everyday decor and keeping an overall simple and clean palette. To add some height to the hutch, since this is a very tall wall, I decided to add this floral arrangement that I previously had on my dining room table. But after looking at it for a minute, I decided that it didn't quite work. I thought maybe adding some artwork on top as well as some more neutral greenery might be a better fit. So I switched the vase out and added one that was a little bit shorter. This was a DIY that I did several years ago that created a more stone concrete look, and then I just have some greenery in it that's a little wispy, and I think it works for year round. And I'm going to place that on top of the hutch, and I think it fits the space much better. And I think adding the greenery on top allows your eye to go more upward, and it makes the space look larger. Moving over to the dining room side of the room, I decided to rearrange my table just a bit. Now, if you have been following me for some time, you know the struggle that I've had with our dining room light. The chain wasn't long enough whenever we moved into our home, but we said we would worry about it later. Well, it's 2 years later now, and I still have yet to get a longer chain or find one that would work. So we are on the lookout for a new dining room light. Now, in the meantime, I did want to center my table to the window and also to the light, and then add in some captain chairs. Now, I already had these chairs in my basement collecting dust, quite literally, so I pulled them out, cleaned them off, and placed them there, not as a permanent solution, but just adding it to see if I liked the larger chairs at the end, if I liked the leather look, or if I would want to even have chairs on the ends. So far, I think I do enjoy them. It allows more seating and they are quite comfortable. So I'm going to leave them for now. I also added a large greenery arrangement and a candle in a hurricane. I will probably switch it out for a larger candle when I can run to the store and grab one. But for now, this works and it is quite cozy. that I had the large mirror to work with, I decided to play around with this area off of my kitchen. Now, if you've seen a few videos back, I found this really beautiful raw wood vintage piece of furniture that I love, but the styling above it was never quite right. So when I pulled the mirror aside from the entryway, I thought, let's try it out on the wall over here. It's kind of unconventional having a mirror right next to the kitchen, but I kind of love it. It really opens up the space. I love the antique brass look, and I purchased this mirror at a yard sale for $5, so I try to use it any chance that I can. Now that the hutch is gone, there is a blank wall that I'm excited to experiment with and style. So I'm thinking I might do a vintage inspired gallery wall and add some beautiful artwork and frames to that wall, maybe a light sconce. Let me know what you guys think and what you would put in that area. But here's an overall view of our dining room and entryway now that it is simplified and redecorated. I hope that this inspires you to shop your home and redecorate and get inspired with the decor that you already have. Thanks again to QVC for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you all soon in my next one. Bye, friends.